So here's exactly why you keep falling for someone who doesn't treat you right. Even when deep down, you know you deserve better, but you don't know why you keep going back to them. The second to last one is something we all do out of genuine love and respect. The first one, that you mistake attention for genuine love. Attention isn't always love. Someone can call you every day, say sweet things, bring you flowers, and make you feel wanted. But that doesn't automatically mean they genuinely love you. They might simply want a taste of you, someone to keep on standby while they live however they want, or someone they can benefit from without any intention of truly valuing them. Genuine love is different. It shows up in consistency, attention to the little details, consideration for your feelings, and support that isn't dependent on what they get from you. The second one is when you overlook incompatibility because of physical attraction. Physical attraction can easily make you anticipate or focus on what you like about someone, while ignoring how poorly you actually fit together. You may be strongly attracted to them, but have completely different values, communication styles, goals, priorities, or expectations. The attraction keeps you interested, while the incompatibility keeps creating problems and misunderstandings. Ask yourself, do our values, priorities, communication styles, life goals, and relationship expectations actually align? Do I like this person, or do I like how they make me feel? And am I constantly making excuses for differences that would bother me in the long run? The third one is when you fall in love during a vulnerable moments. You might meet someone when you're emotionally vulnerable, and the attention, comfort, or connection they give you feels much deeper than it actually is. And vulnerability can make you get attached quickly and in love with how they made you feel during a difficult moment, rather than who they consistently are. Slow down with the attachment during moments when you're emotionally vulnerable. Pay attention to how and why they are being so nice to you, and give the relationship enough time so you don't confuse comfort with compatibility. The fourth is when you confuse being needed with being loved. You can become attached to caring for someone because you have a provider mindset, and then you forget about being cared for in return. And because they constantly need your attention, support, money, advice, or emotional availability, you mistake being important to them as feeling loved. Distinguish being useful from being valued. Pay attention to whether they show up for you or still treat you with the same care and respect when you're not able to provide what they need at the moment. And don't measure your importance by how much someone depends on you. Look for reciprocity. That's if they care about your needs and selves, then with the same seriousness that you care about theirs. Another one is that they keep leading you on. This one is not your fault, but you should notice. If they always give you less attention, affection, or caring, and then come close whenever you start pulling away, and if their actions never consistently match their words. This keeps you attached because proof. You keep holding on to the potential, and every small sign of affection resets your hope, making it harder to let go because you love and care for them way more than they do for you. Making it harder to sign of affection, as proof that things are changing. Compare their actions to their words. Look for a pattern of coming close, pulling away, then coming back when you start distancing yourself. If their behavior constantly gives you mixed signals, then you probably figured out their games on you. This one is the "I can fix them" illusion. You see their toxic or unhealthy behavior, but somehow convince yourself that your love, patience, or support will eventually change them. You focus on who you want them to become, instead of who they consistently are, and then start treating their problems like a challenge you need to solve. But people change when they recognize the problem and choose to change, not simply because someone loves them enough. And honestly, you can become emotionally attached to their potential while tolerating their unbearable reality. Notice if they actually want to change, or you're the person constantly making excuses for them because you believe they have potential. Then ask yourself, if this person never changed, would I still want this relationship? And then watch out if their promises to change actually match their behavior and effort of trying to change, because you can support someone's growth, but you cannot do the growing for them. The next one is, you are always taking the blame for everything in the name of self-improvement. They use accountability against you, and you admit and convince yourself that every problem in the relationship is something you need to fix. This doesn't mean accountability isn't necessary, but self-improvement becomes unhealthy when you use it to explain away someone else's behavior. How they react to you when you make mistakes should be taken into accountability as well, because people become better when you handle them better, and two wrongs never makes a right. Another one is you want validation from the same person who rejected you. Sometimes, rejection can unknowingly make you want someone's approval even more, especially when you're not used to being rejected, or when you have low self-worth that makes you feel the need to prove you're worth choosing. At that point, you're no longer asking, does this person even like me? You're asking, what do I need to do to make this person choose me? Stop treating someone's rejection as a verdict on your worth, and accept that someone not wanting a relationship with you doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It can simply mean you're incompatible, or they don't feel the same way you feel about them. Pay attention to whether you're pursuing connection or validation. Not everyone has to choose you for you to know your value. Self-improvement should be for you, not a strategy to make someone choose you. Being too submissive. This is the one I made a reference to in the beginning. Because out of so much love, we become so respectful, humble, and supportive toward our partner. And I agree that's good and necessary. But it becomes a problem when you stop expressing your own needs, opinions, out of fear of what it might result into. Humility doesn't mean accepting disrespect, staying silent while being disregarded. A healthy relationship should allow you to honor your partner and be honored by your partner without losing yourself in the process, because when a person loves you, they will want to see you genuinely happy. The last one is that you fear starting all over. You might stay in a relationship that no longer works, because starting over feels more frightening than staying unhappy. You think about the time you've invested, the memories you've created, and the uncertainty of whether you'll ever find someone better. So you convince yourself that staying is better than starting from zero. But sometimes, you have to let go of someone who no longer values having you in their life. And most times, people only realize what you brought into their lives after you're no longer there. Never be too afraid to start over. Trust in your genuineness, your kindness, and the value you bring. The right person won't need to lose you to recognize your worth. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these reasons do you think is the hardest to recognize when you're in love? Let me know in the comments. And if you have a question or a personal experience you want me to talk about, drop it in the comments. And subscribe for more honest and insightful videos about love, relationships, and physiological human behavior.